Hello YouTube, it's me again. This is another short video of my 2015 Ford Mustang GT. This is after I've swapped out my MagnaFlow Streets for a set of Flowmaster Outlaw axlebacks. I got them off the another Mustang forum. Somebody had them on his car for a little while. They decided to go with Borla. I was kind of looking for something a little more aggressive than the MagnaFlows, and this definitely is it. Let me roll up my window a little bit so you can hear me. Currently my car is running the stock headers and cats Ford Racing X pipe with no resonators back to these axlebacks. They weren't terribly difficult to install, even though they've even been installed once before, so they're actually pretty easy. I could probably do for some minor adjustments, maybe pull them off, cut the pipes back just a hair more, just to get them to seat back further, but they're not too bad. They're really not any more further out than my MagnaFlows were either, and those were custom by Lou's custom exhaust over in Stoughton. Definitely far more aggressive. I mean, just at idle, it sounds like it's kind of lopey. You can actually hear it at idle sitting there. The exhaust sounds bigger than it is. Part of it obviously is because it goes from a 2.5 to I believe a 3-inch after the X pipe. And of course it's pretty much a straight through design, so as you would imagine there is a little bit of drone. It's very manageable, it's not too bad. If you go above 75 miles an hour in 6th gear, above I think it's about 1800 RPM, you start getting it, and that's where I expect to kind of see it, and then it dissipates after about 2200, but you're well over 80 miles an hour cruising, and I don't really drive that much on the highway at that speed. I'm usually anywhere between 65 and 74-ish or so, and then I just throw my car in cruise control and it's no big whoop. I do plan on adding in another set of resonators regardless, though, just so it can make it a little more comfortable on the highway. It's not bad, but I got to turn my stereo up just a little bit more than I'm used to running it at if I'm going above 75. And don't get me wrong, there are points on the highway here in Massachusetts where you're definitely going over 75 at a cruise. So, but other than that, it's not bad around. It's a vicious sounding exhaust, especially around town. I definitely wanted a more aggressive, and that's definitely what you get with these. I mean, I just can't believe the difference in the volume. It's that much. It's just so much louder. I mean, even with the windows up, I can still hear it pretty well. Like this sounds like if the windows were down with the other exhaust idling. With them up. This is with them down. Yeah. I mean, there's volume to this exhaust. I mean, just oodles, and just cruising around town, you can hear it. It's just, you can hear it echoing off all the buildings. I mean, it's really loud. And I don't mind it. I kind of was going for that. I like that kind of big engine 80s V8 kind of sound. You know what I mean? Like I had an 87 Mustang GT. They had Flowmasters on it. I think they're like 40 series or something like that, and it just had a nice big canny sound to it. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to, almost like you'd expect that the exhaust pipes were like bus exhaust, like greater than 4 inches in diameter. That's what it sounds like, and that's what this sounds like. It's got just enough pop and crackle. It's got a little bit of rasp, which I like, because in a V8 the rasp is much different than a V6 or a 4-cylinder. The V6, the rasp could get downright annoying and start sounding weird. In this car, it's nice. It goes from deep and menacing sound, and then volume picks up, and then it just rips like a banshee. It's just such a good sound. I'm not going to do a lot of driving with this because I only have so much. I'm actually in my work parking lot per my usual with my videos. So I'm just going to go around the parking lot a little bit, vary up my speeds. I don't really have a way to get outside here. There used to be a place for me to put my I actually used to put my camera on these light pole ledges, but they're beveled now. They're not flat. They've just put these in. So I'll probably get an outside exhaust video later with help from one of my friends. But so here we go. Driving by the Bunker Hill building. Oh, I wonder why they got this blocked off. Oh, they're doing something with the road. The security guard's standing out there as I just wrapped them. It's awesome. I love it. I don't think I can go ripping through here, unfortunately. I think it is just a hair too loud for that. I think I'd get some. I think he'd notice me going by, although I think he went in. Put my windows up. That's what it sounds like in the car with the windows up. It's actually quite a bit nicer. Not that it was not nice before. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna put my seatbelt on. Actually, it's 2. You know what? It's 2:12. I got time. I can go down the street and come back. Nice little loop here, go down to the end of the overpass, turn around, and come right back. Of course, we got Boston traffic, so Nice quick little trip around, what was it, like 2.5 blocks or so? Alright, see if I can shoot across all this traffic. There we go. Alrighty, so that was my quick little driving vid on new exhaust. I absolutely love it. I love how just abrasive it sounds. It's just so, like, you get next to everybody, and if you blurb a little bit, they just be like, what the hell is that? I scared an old lady earlier. I just love it. I love the volume, and I think I was hoping that once I removed the X pipe with those MagnaFlows that they put in, that I'd get the volume, because they kind of talked me out of actually going with the original Flowmasters, and they said it was due because the warranty wasn't there, but according to the Flowmaster, they were lifetime warranties, so I don't know what they were talking about. I think they were just trying to sell the more expensive muffler. These are great. I don't mind the drone that it has. You know, there's obviously going to be dead spots where you're going to get drone regardless. Typically, it's in the 2,000 RPM range if you're in too high a gear. So, like, if you're in 5th gear and you're hitting 2,000 RPMs and you're only doing 45, you're going to want to downshift out of that. If you're on the highway, you want to stay about 75 or below in 6th gear. It's not bad. Once you start hitting above, like 75 and above in 6th gear, you start hearing that hum, that very typical droney hum you get from wide open exhaust. And then, of course, it gets a little higher pitched up to about 2,200 RPMs, and then, like as expected, because of the way the exhaust flows, it starts dissipating. But by that point, you're well into the 90s probably. That can be rectified with a simple set of vibrant resonators, no problem. Some high flow resonators in the back. 12-inch by 4-inch would probably do it. Right before the rear axles, that would just eliminate all that. But as is right now, is it perfect? No. It's nice, it's loud, it's aggressive. I like it. The car sounds mean. It idles mean. I actually noticed something else. I noticed that depending on the drive mode, if you put it in snow wet mode, I noticed that when it idles down, it actually gets quieter, which I understand that, you know, it's changing the throttle mapping a little bit. But other than that, it's great. So if you have any questions, post them in the comments below, good, bad, or otherwise. And take care, guys. Bye.